Hola, this is Kaipacha with the weekly Pele report for September 29th, 2016. I know it's a day late. I usually do these things on Wednesday and today is Thursday, but you know, just like everybody else, I'm slammed, man. Better late than never. So today's Thursday. Yeah, and tomorrow we have the new moon. Okay, finish up your work here. Moon's in Virgo. She goes into Libra for that new moon. We've got this new moon in Libra, and it's shortly after conjuncts Jupiter. So we've got a Sun-Jupiter conjunction still going on. And as you can see from that chart at the beginning of the report, it is square to Mars up there in Capricorn. That's the biggie that I'm going to talk about today. Sun, Jupiter, and Libra, squaring to Mars in Capricorn. Along with that, then we've got this Venus still moving through Scorpio. She trines Neptune in Pisces over there on Saturday. Nice time, yeah. Sunday and Monday look like beautiful, wonderful days here. Okay, with the moon conjuncting Venus, she goes into Scorpio, and she trines Neptune. Sextiles Pluto. Really nice, really nice. The only thing else that's going on Sunday, and this is interesting, Mercury does his third opposition to Chiron. Look back, because Mercury came into opposition with Chiron back in August 20th. And there you may have had some communication crisis, health crisis, challenging, you know, healing crisis. We'll look at that. And then it went retrograde. Came back for the second pass, okay, on September 10th. Now it's gone direct, okay, and it's going back for the third and final, wrap it up, come to the conclusions, you know, get it together, learn the lesson, and move on, okay, and that is happening on Sunday, yeah, beautiful closure there, yeah. Sun sextiles Saturn on Tuesday. Oh my God, it looks like a creek here. I'll be a son of a gun. Next Wednesday then, Mars squares Jupiter, but it's really, like I say, it's this whole week that Mars is square Jupiter. We got to check out this tree here before I close, because I think it's pretty awesome. We've got these two trees right on either side of the creek. Maybe I'll try to find a spot where you can see these two trees like pillars, yes, allowing the sweetness of the water, yeah, to come right on through their trunks and their roots. Okay, well, I would like this to be a nice, relaxing, creekside conversation with you. But first of all, I'm in the middle of the creek, and secondly, there's about 1 million mosquitoes around here. So I don't know how long this Pele report is going to be. It's always a trade-off, you know. You get the scenery, you know, I could be sitting at a desk, be able to concentrate and focus a little more. But I think it's nice to be out in nature. So, what do I want to say to you today? We are in the middle of the, you know, changing of the ages from Pisces to Aquarius. I am going to be, yeah, first of all, I got to address the 13th sign, because I'm getting too many messages and emails and everything, you know, what about, you know, Ophiuchus? And so I am posting, it'll be either at the beginning or at the end, a photo, okay, of the constellations. It has the ecliptic running right through the middle, and you can see that the tail of the Schorpioen comes around, and just the toe, okay, the toe of Ophiuchus, okay, is touching the ecliptic, and it's in alignment with Scorpio. There is no 13th sign. You know, the whole difference between the tropical and the sidereal zodiac goes back a long way. And every once in a while, though nothing has changed for many, 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 many years, some smart scientist will come along, and try to discredit astrology, stir everybody up, okay, bring in a bunch of doubt, and it's just, it's not happening. So forget it. I just posted on Facebook an explanation. My friend Maurice has an astronomy course that you can download if you want to know more about the astronomy. Astrology is not astronomy. Astrology is the oldest art science on planet Earth, and all I can say is that there are divine laws guiding the course of human evolution, and they are reflected in the stars, and they are not about ego-driven, black and white, yes and no, the materialistic science that exists out there today. There are subtle energies and spiritual divine interventions that are just absolutely beyond, okay, this NASA. I mean, NASA even said Pluto was not a planet, okay, a few years ago, all right, and now they got a big outcry from the public, and they changed it back, and they said, well, now Pluto is a planet. I mean, these scientists will come up with one thing after another. Thank God we have astrology. That says we're coming into the age of Aquarius, which does have to do with huge advances in science and technology that will finally, resolve the apparent paradoxes, just like there's quantum physics and Newtonian physics, and they can, they can battle each other. There's astronomy and astrology, and they can battle each other. But, I always go back to it's not either or, it's both and more. There's a place for astrophysics and astronomy, and I admire the scientists, they're very intelligent, seeking answers, yes, through their exploration. And there is astrology that looks at the archetypes, the seasons, the underpinnings, and the meanings behind, okay, the apparent physical phenomena. Enough said about that. I want to get on to, and this does have to do with Libra. Libra is an air sign. It has to do with balance, equanimity, yes, warring factions, differing opinions, finding a middle point, a fulcrum, a turning point where everybody wins. And this new moon happening in Libra, it really sets the tone for the next month. So let's look at this next month, because astrologically, Libra has to do with partnership and relationship. I'm going to be talking about masculine and feminine and relationship for the next year. 2015, Jupiter in Leo. We find our purpose, we find ourself, we get creative. 2016, Jupiter goes into Virgo. Refine it, purify it, purge it, correct it, okay? Bring it into the essential, make it useful, relevant, needed. By what? Now Jupiter's gone into Libra, the other. So it's time to come out of ourselves after 6 years, okay, from 2010 to 2016. We've been doing an inner development, and the next 6 years Jupiter moves through the social cosmic signs. So we're at that turning point, and we want to take time at that turning point. Because there's what? Going too far, not going far enough. We can get stuck in Virgo, where we are still insecure. We're not perfect enough, we're not good enough, we're not ready enough. We can't find the perfect partner, and the perfect person in reality is not happening, and I'm still, We can go too far out into relationship and partnership, where we lose control, where we become codependent, where we go out of ourselves and we lose that purpose that we found in Leo, and we lose, yes, that creativity, because we've gotten absorbed by the other. So we really want to do this dance, this balance now. And it's not only, okay, just around that. Because what? Mars is moving through Capricorn. This brings up the natural square between Capricorn and Libra, the 10th house and the 7th house. And that is between what? Work, profession, reputation, accomplishment, and ambition. Mars in Capricorn. Sun conjunct Jupiter in Libra. Let's go window shopping. Let's have some conversations. Let's do partnership. Let's have fun. Let's stay in bed a little longer. Let's, you know, da 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 da. We. And Mars in Capricorn goes, I can't get anything done around here. And my sweetheart says, yeah, but you know, this is really important too. And so we can have this challenge. So this is about Mars and Pluto both moving through Capricorn. You know, and this mantra for today, it's about boundaries. It's about having control. We've been really struggling, working our butts off, you know, being kind of, you know, victimized a little bit while Jupiter was in Virgo. It's time to regain and emerge. And we've done this inner work. And part of this inner work is this Mercury opposite Neptune, Mercury opposite Chiron. Spending a little extra time there. And it's been squaring. Saturn is still square the moon's nodes in Virgo and Pisces. This has to do with tuning in. This has to do with tapping into that divine intelligence that I'm talking about. Saturn in Sagittarius says, you better be on course, on track, find a higher purpose for your existence than just yourself, your comfort, and your material success. There's deeper meaning in nature and in natural law and in philosophy and belief systems, and we need to constantly be expanding our knowledge. Jupiter's the ruler of Sagittarius. It's now in Libra. It's really time. It's really time to listen to our partners and to balance the masculine and the feminine. And here we come. Sun, Jupiter in Libra. Black Moon Lilith and Venus in Scorpio. Let's go deep, intense, converse, engage with this masculine and feminine. And what's the story here? The feminine wants more love and connection. The masculine wants more freedom and openness and nothingness. This is a time with the Sun, Jupiter square Mars. The danger of this is too much masculine, too much control, too much power, too much using anger to manipulate the situation so that I get my way. Let's not forget Uranus is still in Aries, and there's a lot of desire for independence and revolution and sovereign action. And so there is this balance. And I'm going to say that the best way out of this, or the best way through this, is to really business partnership, accomplish something together, work together. Maybe it's paint the bedroom. You know, Venus and Scorpio, it's maybe buy a new mattress for the bed. You know, it's like put your money, time, energy together into joint ventures. Rather than making my job, work, and business take me away from partnership, let's try, you know, to engage and do both. And this will be setting aside time for both. Balancing out the personal and the professional. The more out of balance that has been, the more this month is going to be challenging for you. Because this new moon in Libra sets the tone. It's like the birth of the whole monthly lunar cycle. So we'll be working with this energy of, you know, the need to not work too hard. The need to not be, all about ambition and material success. But to keep in mind, keep our minds in our hearts, yeah? And do it with a purpose. And that purpose, like I say, calls for raising up and remembering who we are as infinite spiritual beings. The most powerful force is love. What brought us here is love. In most cases, our parents were in love. That's why we were born. Let's not forget, right? Let's stay in this space. And I'm going to use my ambition, I'm going to use my work, I'm going to use my profession, I'm going to use my relationships to further, yes, this embracing of the feminine, of Mother Nature, of the earth, of cleaning up this planet, of cleaning up myself. And the way that I clean up myself right now is through discussion, shadow work, intentional dialogue, nonviolent communication, really using partnership as a mirror. Where have I fallen down? Okay, where have I let you down? Where have I made you unsafe? Where have I, how can I meet you in the middle, in freedom and in love? So there is just this, like I say, the pull is going to be too much Mars, Jupiter, over expansion, overwork, over burnout, and of course, you want to, just kind of, it's kind of like putting the reins on the horses. So the mantra for this week, yeah, and it could be like for this whole month, the sun's come out of Virgo, Jupiter's out of Virgo, Mercury's going to be coming out of Virgo in a couple of weeks, and that Mars is staying in Capricorn for a few more weeks. So, the mantra for today is, it's time to bring some order and establish some control. For now I see, it's up to me, for I have heard the call. This Mercury Chiron is like channeling spiritual love energy. If you can still your mind, hear the call of spirit. And very often that call of spirit is now going to be coming through others. Let's not leave others out, okay? Spirit very often talks to us through our partners, whether they're intimate and romantic or business or otherwise, even our enemies. Libra is also our open enemies. They're all mirrors showing us our unconscious programming. So it's time to heal that unconscious programming, rewire our brains, our nervous systems, yes, through Kundalini Yoga or other means, and open more and more and more. It's not either or, it's both and more. It's time to bring some order and establish some control. For now I see, it's up to me, for I have heard the call. That Pisces has been calling us. If we have been listening through this year of purification, we are emerging now out onto the world stage to bring this new paradigm into manifest reality. Oh yes. Oh my God. And have a good time doing it. This is, like I say, great aspects this weekend. And, it's all good. Namaste. Aloha. So much freaking love.